Ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, it's showtime!
Welcome to Big Faces Worldwide, where we talking nothing but this boxing, man. Hey, what's good, fam? Hey, listen, man, first off, as I always do, I want to welcome everybody to the channel. If you're new here, I want you to be here. So think about hitting that subscribe button as we stay knee deep into this boxing conversation, man. Now, I was reading an article, man, and Leonard Ellerbee, who is the president, the mouthpiece of Mayweather Promotions, man. He he promoted the fight with Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman. I was reading the article, and he said that he would like to see a rematch between Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman. Now, I would love to see that rematch, man. You all know, you follow my channel, you know I picked Keith Thurman to win this fight. Keith Thurman lost. You understand what I'm saying? But can Keith Thurman do anything different in the rematch? That's the question at hand. And I would have to say yes. I would have to say yes. I think that Keith Thurman went into this fight with Manny Pacquiao underestimating the 40-year-old Hall of Fame veteran. Through the whole build up to the fight, man, Keith Thurman talked about knocking Manny Pacquiao out. He talked about how is Manny Pacquiao going to do anything with him with those little T-Rex arms. He talked about ain't no 40-year-old beating me. So Keith Thurman underestimated Manny Pacquiao, and I think that first round, although Keith Thurman was winning the first round, Manny Pacquiao caught him and dropped him, surprised him. Keith Thurman has been known throughout his career to start real fast, to come out in the first round and test his opponent, to allow his opponent to feel his power, to give him something to think about for the next couple rounds, to make him respect him. You understand what I'm saying? And Keith Thurman, he attempted it. He attempted it during that first round. He had a real good first 2 minutes. But Manny Pacquiao, being a veteran that he is, man, he had Keith Thurman with the 52 fake out. He went down to the body, made Keith Thurman drop his hands, then come over the top and hit him right square on the chin and dropped him. You know what I'm saying? And I think from that moment, Keith Thurman's already down 2 rounds. Keith Thurman is already in catch-up mode. So through that, for the rest of the fight, that first round set the tone for the rest of the fight, because Keith Thurman had to try to play catch up through the entire fight. You know what I'm saying? In the rematch, can Keith Thurman come into that fight and not get dropped, not have to play catch up, but to like he even said it, but after the fight, man, he needed to be more active. You know what I'm saying? So can he be more active? Can he have a higher output of punches? You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman, hit Manny Pacquiao with some really good right hands, man, that, would have dropped a lot of men, would have dropped a lot of boxers, man. Manny Pacquiao, I seen him buzzed a few times, but the champ took it like a champ, took it like a G and sucked it up, man. And he was buzzed for a few seconds, where it looked like Keith Thurman was ready to go in for the kill. And by the time Keith Thurman tried to go in for the kill, Manny got his senses back already. You know what I'm saying? So he was able to recover extremely fast, man. You know what I mean? But I think that, if they were to have a rematch, I would pick Keith Thurman again. I would pick Keith Thurman again, because this time I think he'll be better prepared for the fight. He would go into the fight not underestimate Manny Pacquiao, the mistake that he made in the first fight. Now, PBC got a podcast. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's all on, it's on every major podcast platform, man. I got an iPhone, so I listen to it on, the Apple, whatever the Apple thing is, man. Well, anyway, PBC got a podcast, and right after the fight, they did an interview with Keith Thurman, man. And, he talked about wanting a rematch. He said he don't know if Manny Pacquiao is going to give him a rematch. I think he deserves a rematch. He's the champion. I know Manny Pacquiao was the A side and dictated everything going on in this fight. But being the champion, man, and fighting the way that Keith Thurman fought, I think he deserves a rematch. You know what I'm saying? I think he deserves a rematch. I think he can do better in a rematch. You know what I'm saying? Keith Thurman, he still got a lot of fight left in him, man. He said some things on that podcast, in that interview, that, as a boxing fan, as a Keith Thurman fan, I was happy to hear, man. You know what I'm saying? He talked about, how his O was gone. There's no reason, he has no longer, he has to protect an O. You know what I'm saying? So he said his next opponent and future's opponent, they better be ready for a dogfight, because, he don't got to protect no O. You know what I'm saying? He's going to let his nuts hang and put hands on his next opponent, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really looking forward to Keith Thurman's comeback, man, to see what he's going to do. They asked him about his comeback. They said that, before the loss, how Keith Thurman said that he was not coming back until next year. The guy who was doing the interview, and I can't think of his name right now, he asked him, has that changed? Has that changed now? Will he fight another time this year? Keith Thurman said, he don't know. He said he got to sit down with his manager, Al Heyman, and, see if what he got for him. Look at the landscape of the welterweight division and decide on their next course of action, man. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, I don't think Manny Pacquiao is interested in giving Keith Thurman a rematch, man. It was a real tough fight for Manny. Manny, he won the fight, no doubt about it, man. He bust Keith's ass. You know what I'm saying? But it was a close, tough fight for Manny, man. Like I said, Keith caught Manny with some real good shots, man. Freddie Roach talked about how at the post-fight press conference, how, Manny was having a problem with his vision, was having a problem with his speech, you know what I'm saying? And, he knew that he took some punishment in that fight. But he also said by, the next morning, he seen him the next morning shadow boxing. But, with that being said, that Keith Thurman gave Manny Pacquiao a hell of a fight, man. I would love to see a rematch, but I would love to see Manny Pacquiao fight the winner of Earl Spence, Sean Porter. Now, I know I did a video that got crazy views, almost 50,000 views on that video, where, Boo Boy Hernandez and Sean Gibbons, Team Pacquiao, said in an interview that Manny Pacquiao's not going to fight the winner of Sean Porter, Earl Spence. You know what I'm saying? But when it all comes down to it, man, Manny Pacquiao is the guy who makes the wheels turn. You know what I'm saying? He's the guy who will make the final decision on his own career on who he will fight. He also said that he's going to try to be at the Spence Porter fight. You know what I'm saying? And him saying that he's going to try to be there, further confirms that, there's at least interest in him fighting the winner of, Sean Porter, Earl Spence, man. I think that would be, a hell of a fight with either of those guys, man. You know, Manny Pacquiao has proved himself time and time again in this sport. Manny Pacquiao has nothing else to prove to no one. You know what I mean? But it will truly be amazing if Manny Pacquiao was to go in there and defeat an Errol Spence, to defeat a Sean Porter, two young guys, you know, two young champions after defeating, Keith Thurman, man. You know what I'm saying? He will hold 3 of the titles at welterweight, man. That at 40 years old, he's already the oldest welterweight champion in history. And should he be able to defeat the winner of that unification matchup, man, and become the oldest unified welterweight champion of the world, and the only belt out there will be the WBO against Terrence Crawford, a guy that, you know, Bob Arum said that he saved you from, a guy that, you know, everybody said, this was a couple years ago, that you had no chance of beating, to go over there and, you know, and fight for all the marbles. You know what I'm saying? That would be the perfect picture, man. The perfect storybook ending to a hellified, legendary career, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking fairy tales right now, man. But that would be something nice to see. You know what I'm saying? But rematch between Thurman and Pacquiao, I would love to see it. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see it. I think it would be a very good matchup. I think Keith Thurman will make some adjustments. You know, I would pick Keith Thurman to beat Manny Pacquiao. You know, I would pick him to beat him. You know, Keith said that he was playing. It felt like he was playing catch up the whole fight. You know, that knockdown. You know, you gotta catch up now. You know what I'm saying? He said he wished there was a couple more rounds, man. And if you look at the judges' scorecards, you know, the judges who gave it to Pacquiao was, you know, 115 to 112. You know what I mean? So that first round knockdown played a huge part, man. Huge part in the fight. Also, that 10th round body shot that hurt Thurman, you know, also played a big part, you know, because, you know, Thurman was gaining momentum. Thurman was doing his thing, man, and if he was able to sustain a clean sweep in those later rounds, man, he possibly could have pulled off a draw, you know, or maybe even won the fight, man. But I'm taking nothing away from Manny Pacquiao, man. Like I said, I've been a Manny Pacquiao fan for almost 20 years, man. I remember he fought on the Lennox Lewis Mike Tyson undercard, man. I'm like, who is this little dude right here, man? Throwing all these punches, man, you know, fast as hell. You know what I mean? Manny Pacquiao gave us so many great fights over the years, man. You know, and he is still at it, man, which is amazing, you know. But listen, man, I appreciate y'all tuning into the channel. Like I said, man, if you're not subscribed, don't leave out of here without hitting that subscribe button. Also, you can catch me on Twitter, catch me on Instagram at Big Faces Worldwide, all one word. But in the meantime and in between time, I want y'all to stay blessed and keep on supporting the sport that we love called boxing. Peace. I'll holler back.